And in Iraq, at least 55 people have been killed and over 60 others injured in a car bomb blast in Baghdad. The incident happened when a car parked with explosives blew up near car dealerships in southern Baghdad. The Islamic State group has claimed the attack. The extremist group has carried out nearly daily attacks in Baghdad. Earlier, at least 24 people were killed in other attacks on Tuesday and Wednesday. The US State Department has condemned the attack at the car dealership, saying such attacks show the extremist group's utter contempt for human life and its efforts to sow discord and division among the Iraqi people. And joining us at the moment is C. Uday Bhaskar, Director, Society for Policy Studies. Is joining us on the phone line. Good morning, sir, and thanks very much for joining us here on Doordarshan News. So first of all, the attack in Pakistan has been claimed by the Islamic State. The first done so far for a strike in Pakistan, clearly explaining to us the tentacle spread by Islamic State and the great threat perception that it poses to the region and the entire world.
The Islamic State is definitely emerging as a very major security challenge for the entire southern Asian region. And if you look at the pattern of events over the last few months, what is discernible or what is evident is that the Islamic State is currently under a lot of pressure in West Asia, in Syria, and they are now scattered as far as Mosul and other strongholds that they had till recently are concerned. And what emerges is that the Islamic State and its affiliates in the region, whether it is in Iraq, whether it's in Afghanistan or Pakistan, are trying to establish and demonstrate their quote-unquote murderous efficacy in eliminating the minorities, particularly the Shias and the Sufi pilgrims. And this is a pattern one notices both in relation to Pakistan at Sehwan and Sindh, and what has been happening in Iraq over the last week, I would say. So two strands emerge. One is the virulence of the Islamic State and its affiliates, and the second is the deliberate targeting, particularly in Pakistan, of Sufi shrines. And this, incidentally, is not the first. Over the last decade, from 2008-9 to where we are now, there have been more than 25 attacks on Sufi shrines in particular. In some cases, the death toll has gone up to more than 100. And I'm afraid the attack last night in Sehwan would also result in a much higher casualty rate than what we have assessed till now.
Sir, besides this attack on the shrine, we've seen this last 1 week particularly has seen spate of attacks, whether you talk about Lahore or Peshawar for that matter. Well, would you say that this has underscored the challenges faced by Pakistani military as well as civil administration and leadership to counter extremist violence? Their house is certainly definitely not in order when it comes to terror strikes, terror attack.
I would just say that this is happening yet again, because it is true that Lahore was the site of an attack on Monday, and from there to now, Pakistan has had 3 to 4 separate attacks in almost every province of that country. But if you recall December 2014, when the attack took place on the school children in Peshawar,
yes,
much the same thing was said, that it underscores the contradictions in Pakistan and the fact that sectarian violence is either being tacitly accepted or endorsed by the state because of this particular definition of the minority in Pakistan, which even within the Islamic fold is now being extended to all non-Sunni groups that do not.
And how does Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, and how does, having said that, how does Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif actually handle this situation from here on? Well, the reaction that is coming from the Pakistani dispensation is they have first of all sealed the Afghan-Pakistan border, and he's just condemned it.
I'm afraid most of these responses and reactions, whether it is Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif or from even Imran Khan, who is a well-known politician now in Pakistan, have been, I'm afraid, very short-sighted and sometimes I would say even cynical in terms of how they have interpreted this, because the same leadership, whether it is that of Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif or that of Imran Khan, have at different points supported these terror groups or their ideological affiliates, wherein the non-Sunni has been targeted. And I think this particular sectarian dimension, where the Islamic State in a way represents what you might call as this commitment to the Wahhabi
Right.
interpretation of Islam, is now tearing at the heart of Pakistan's own dilemma about who or what is a good Muslim in the context of Pakistan. And this, by the way, is not the first time. The same questions were asked in the early 50s when the Ahmadiyas in Pakistan were similarly ostracized and became targets of deliberate killing. So these are some of the unfortunate structural fissures or failures within Pakistani state and society. And my own reading as an analyst is rather bleak, that if Peshawar did not lead to a very, very objective review of policies,
Sir.
I'm not sure how a Sufi shrine is going to encourage Pakistan, however popular Lal Qalandar is,
Right,
as
sir.
far as the citizenry of Pakistan is concerned.
Many thanks, sir. Many thanks, C.U. Bhaskar, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for joining and putting that story, the lead story, in perspective.